stream today. Thanks so much for being here in Steps to Voiceover Success. You see, I got a guest with me today. Say hey to everyone, John. I got John
Hey, Earl.
Grimes.
Hey, everybody. How you
Uh,
doing?
Doing great, man. John Grimes here, voiceover extraordinaire in the house today. We're going to be talking about his career and the things that he's been able to accomplish in that span and just really his whole grind and don't quit thing and how he's made some serious transformations over the course of basically the past year. So, John, let's dig in, man.
All right.
When did you get on this crazy journey of voiceover?
So I was a touring member of the show Riverdance, the Irish dance company.
Okay.
So I do have an entertainment background. And I just remember being on the like bus, traveling on the tour bus, and there was a guy, in the band, very musical ear, and he goes, "Have you seen that guy with the golden voice?" And I used to, I was the go-getter, Earl. Like, so
Okay.
I'd be up on the bus reading like the Wall Street Journal to this guy, like from Ireland, and he'd be like, "Man, you're really good at this. Like, have you ever looked into voiceover?" I'm like, "What's voiceover?" And
Right.
I think everybody has a similar thing, so I ended up watching a few people on YouTube, a couple of different
Right.
coaches, that kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking into it. I didn't even know how like, an XLR microphone even worked, what even an
What the hell is
interface was.
XLR, right?
I know. Nothing about sound treatment, like noise floor. These were all what's dB. So I had all those things going through my mind. So I got off tour. And just basically dove in. I think I have the
Okay.
probably generic, pay to play, join up immediately, and you're like, oh my
Nobody
gosh,
usually does that in the beginning. What did you do that for? Nobody does that. Who does that in the beginning?
you just jump in, and then I realized that you have to actually coach at this, and
Mm,
it's not just having a nice voice; it's being able to interpret scripts and
yeah,
get yourself in front of the right people.
most definitely. So how long ago was that you
So that would
started
be,
this?
well, I want to say on the tail end of 2013, definitely by the start of 2014, I had gotten into voiceover.
Okay, yeah, both of us probably had more hair than two in
Yeah, that's
2013
that's true
at
too.
the time with that. But tell us a little bit about because I think most of the stories that we have to tell as voice actors are pretty similar and they kind of go along the same path. We've got some pain, we've got
Yeah.
some frustration, I'm not doing this crap anymore type of deal. Tell us about that for you. What has been that thing for you that was just like, damn it, you know?
Um, I think I've had that happen like twice in it, and those
Hmm.
have been turning points in how I did voiceover. I was somebody who I racked up like something like 165 likes in under 4 months on voices.com, but only probably nailed two jobs. And I
Wow.
was like, well, you can't be liked that many times and have that kind of success rate, you know? So, I mean, I put into more coaching. I had more success with more coaching.
Hmm.
But I think it's really when we got on the call together and it's like, are you ready to do this? And the chill and the
Oh,
freeze
wow.
came over me. Because I've been following you, Earl. I've been doing, the
Okay.
mail shake strategy.
The famous milkshake strategy.
Everybody loves the mail shake strategy. But I mean, I think the real turning point was was it last year? I don't remember when I started following you. It was around May sometime when you were just starting
Okay.
out.
Yeah. Still
Um,
at home in the basement
yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm like, this guy's on a roll. Like, and you were saying things that I'm like, whoa, this is controversial. But then I'm like, I'm gonna try some of this stuff out, and guess what? It works. Um, so I mean, that's one of the other things. Okay, so the proof's in the pudding.
Sure.
It's it's about going after your dream. And I mean, like, I think when we were on our call together and you're like, are we going to do this? And I'm like, I thought about it and it's like, it was the moment froze in
Wow.
time. And it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this because if I don't do this, what have I been doing for the last, whatever, how many
Wow.
years?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I joined the touring show. I had the opportunity
Uh-huh.
to go to an audition. Well, you had to go to Dublin and
Wow.
they weren't going to pay for you to go over. But
And
was
you
I
where do you live? What state are you in?
I'm in New Hampshire of all places,
Oh
so I'm
gosh.
not that far from Boston. So I mean, it's probably like a 5.5 hour flight to Dublin from Boston to Dublin.
Okay.
But I couldn't. Same same reaction. I can't wake up at 40 years old and wonder what if,
Gosh.
and I'm glad I didn't for that choice. So I got the same experience when we were on our call.
Wow. Making those leaps, and I think one of the things I said in like my video, and I talk to people about too, and I got this from my coach, who's one of my best coaches, which is Lindsay Wilson. Um, Amazing coach. You should look her up. Business development type person. Um, there's going to be serious pain and
Yeah.
anxiety right before your breakthrough.
Well, there was
There's
anxiety.
there, and that's when I've learned I'll be 49 this year. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. I've learned over time when I look back over my life, when I hit up against that wall and decided to bust through it, that's when everything changed. Through all the doubt, through all the anxiety and the pressure, and don't mind the friends that are telling you you're crazy for even thinking about doing it, or your
Yeah.
family, or your wife, or your dog, or your best friend. What the hell are you doing? Anytime you want to rise above where anyone else is, we're like crabs in a barrel so many times, which is crazy
Yeah.
to me. People that don't know the analogy, crabs, if they're in a barrel and one of the crabs tries to get out, the rest of the crabs pull them back down. Is how it is. And that's how so many people are. And I've learned to realize and get comfortable in that space of being uncomfortable. And you know what? Okay, I'm just going to do it. And every time in the past where I haven't done it because I wasn't mature enough to see what was going to be, and that's a faith thing too. You've got to really
Yeah.
know that you can do it. But every time I haven't and I've drawn back, I never reach anything that I want to reach. But those times that I've just gone for it, through everything, through the negative talk, because I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of people have negative talk
Yeah.
in their head. It just seems to be the thing. And how is it that you're able to get through that yourself, through that negative talk and naysayers and people like that?
I think the way I get through it is stick to the process.
Hmm.
I think that's really just the way to do it. You're gonna have these thoughts, you're gonna have these feelings, and I think you're one of the ones who really encouraged me to dive into that type of literature and
Hmm.
really explore that. I think if people have those thoughts and they have those feelings, but they automatically reject them, or they want to distract themselves, or they'll go on Facebook, or they'll do something to just watch a movie, anything to not confront the very thing that they know they have to look at. And the minute you do that and start examining it for yourself, you're not as afraid. You're not as afraid. And you start to realize this is a common experience. Multiple people go through it, but only a certain few make the change and live their life.
That's powerful. And that is so true.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is so many people are scared to take a chance. They're scared to go beyond their comfort level. And the only people that really, I think, really experience life are the ones that just go through that. And I mean, don't get it twisted. We both know it's scary as hell.
It is.
It's scary as hell. Because you're just out there, I think I can walk on this water, but
Yep.
man, oh man. And I've told people, I tell people all the time, look, if one person has done it, it means that you can do it.
Yep.
And it's like I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer for everything that goes on. So there are people that are way smarter than I am, but it's like that doesn't even matter. The people
No.
that take the chance and go for it. And I was in the United States Air Force, so our motto is aim high. So
Yeah.
it's like that's the thing. I think it was Bruce Lee. I think it was Bruce. I remember I watched so many Bruce Lee movies, but it's like if there's a saying, if you aim for the stars, you'll at least get to the sun. It's like, or the moon or the treetops. But if you're only aiming for the top of the house, there's really not much room for you to go, and you're not going to think outside the box. And I think it was Albert Einstein that said, you can't solve a problem on the level that it's on. You've got to rise above that. You've got
Yep.
to go to the next level in order to solve that problem. And so many people, they stay stuck at a certain level because they keep doing the same things over and over, listening to the same people, doing the same things that everyone else is doing. I mean, is this sounding familiar yet?
This is
Doing the
sounding very
same
familiar.
things that everyone else is doing and expecting a different result.
Result.
That's why, I mean, everyone that it's so funny, like hearing you say, I was doing things different, or against the grain or not standard stuff that goes on in the industry. And that's me leveling up to
Yeah.
solve the problem because I see that there's a problem. And if everybody's doing the same thing, what in the hell? I mean, no one's going to rise above it. And it's so strange. I mean, we're voice actors and freelancers, and you can look at like athletes, for someone that's running in track and they're doing it, whatever it is, let's say it's 10 seconds and they want to go to 9 seconds.
Yeah.
That's some tremendous work to
Yeah.
go from 10 to 9. That's a lot of work to be able to do that, but that would get that person to Olympic status or beyond. And where people are right now, they're at a certain level in their career. And this is really how I feel. You're at a certain level in your career and you're trying to go from 10 to 9 seconds. I mean, up at a level. That means you're going to have to do some different training.
Yep.
You're going to have a different coach, a different mentor. There's going to have the people that got you to where you are normally aren't the people that can take you to that next level because they're at that same level and you're just trying to get there. And if you're trying to go above them, you got to do some different stuff and have some different stuff go on with that. This year has been an amazing year for you. Tell us about some
Yeah.
of the stuff that's happened and how you've achieved those results.
Well, I mean, one of them was just the mail shake strategy. This was a
Mm,
just sending out emails. It just happened to be one of those ones of many, and somebody responded positively, and they said, "You know what? I've been trying to cast this thing. Um, I haven't found a voice that fit it yet. Do you want to take a stab in it?" Did the audition. It ended up being a spot for Australian ESPN for the World Series.
whoa.
And
Wait,
I mean,
wait. You're too modest in this. You
well,
did not just send out a stupid email using a
I did.
strategy that
I
we
did.
call Mailshake
I did.
and get a spot from freaking ESPN.
Yeah, but you had to be able to deliver the goods. I mean, the
There
audition
you
had
go.
to be good, but
There you go.
I wouldn't. If that's the thing, if you're not in the right spot at the right time, you're
Hmm.
never gonna have that door to open.
Right.
And I think once I got a handle on my confidence, um, you know, I have booked a big pay to play job. It is possible. I mean, it was for a very major national brand.
You're
Um,
under NDA, so you can't talk about it, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, if you were to go into Home Depot, you'd find it.
Okay.
All right, and it's and it's finding out what your strengths are, right?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
anybody looking at me would say, "Oh, this guy doesn't know anything about building anything."
Right. Right.
But if you don't see me and you hear my voice, and I'm going to tell you how to build something, you believe me automatically. Um,
Love it.
and it's and it's just knowing what your strengths are, but
Yeah.
also having the confidence. Because I remember when I was doing that audition, there were at least 71 auditions that went through for this thing.
Wow.
And I ended up but I knew when I was delivering the script that I was in the zone. And that as a performer, as a dancer, I
Yeah.
know when you're in the zone. When you go into a competition and you hit your stride.
Right.
And sometimes you have that feeling with the audition and you don't get the job, but you're under consideration. But I know from teaching students myself that when you're conscious of that, you're on the right track. So, I mean, just the way once you build that confidence in yourself, you're going to approach everything totally differently and your perspective changes. I've seen that happen with so many different people I coach in just the dance realm.
Yeah.
The minute, you can have some of the most talented people in the world, but the minute they believe in themselves, they're on fire. They're unstoppable. Every other competitor near them better watch out because this person's finally bringing the game.
That's amazing. Being able to, I mean, can you pinpoint, and you may not be able to, but can you pinpoint when you just started getting over yourself as far as your confidence? Because we've had several
Well,
conversations about confidence.
Well, I think it's something that Conchita said in hers. I listened to hers and she
Yeah.
was like, I don't care. And I always tell people that too. I watch, yeah, one of the things I hate, Earl, well, maybe hate's a strong word, but I really dislike when I hear it is the phrase "believe in yourself,"
Okay.
because there's the tail end that's not there, and the
Yourself.
tail. Well, but no, not just believe in yourself, but believe in yourself to the point of failure.
Ah,
They
wow.
right? So I see all these people, they go up in
Wow.
front of Simon Cowell and all these different things, America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
You don't even this is one person's opinion of your abilities.
Hmm.
And yes, maybe they have this, industry expertise. They might be right, but there
Hmm.
also comes along people who do something totally different. All right. I don't know if you saw that James Corden, Paul McCartney thing out recently on
I
Facebook. It was
didn't.
very
I didn't
popular.
see it.
Very popular. Anyway, but Paul McCartney's father thought it should have been "She loves you." Yes, yes, yes. Don't be putting these Americanisms in your songs, Paul. Right? Or he also told Paul McCartney, and his dad was a professional musician. The
Mhm.
guitar's a great hobby, Paul, but don't expect to make a living off of it.
Wow. Yeah.
And sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
his dad. That's his dad.
Powerful.
He has his best interests, his best thoughts for him,
Hmm.
wishes him the best. But sometimes you just have to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah. Wow. Belief in yourself is like really a big part of the equation, because that means that no matter what anyone else says, you're
You're not
going to
going to
do
stop.
it right. You're going to do it anyhow. The number of people, the number of voiceover coaches, the number of voice actors that thought I was an idiot 2 years ago, they're still following today. They're still listening on the slide today. They belong to this group in Steps to Voiceover Success. And, but if I had listened to the naysayers talk about me without even ever having a conversation with me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If I, here's the thing about your talents, and this is for everybody. I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little preachy here, but your talents aren't even for you. They're for me, they're for everyone else. Your talents are for everyone else. If you listened to naysayers, how many people would not benefit from you? If I
Yeah.
had listened 2 years ago to people tell me I was an idiot, no one would ever have found out about the milkshake strategy.
It's
I
true.
would never have produced anything that I've produced. The people that have been helped by you, me, people in the group, none of this would be here if I had just said, they're talking too bad about me.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we let other people determine. How many times have you heard me say, don't don't wait on permission for anyone else to be great,
Yeah.
because you don't need it. It's just that simple. I mean, as you know, we're about to wrap this up here, but as we go into wrap, this has been an amazing conversation. I think that, I mean, in the comments, people, just tell me what you're thinking about this whole conversation between John and I, especially the things that John has said. But John, what is your advice for people in our industry right now? What would be the best piece of advice you could give to people in order to move forward from where they are to where they want to be?
Um, I'd say broaden your horizons outside of the voiceover industry. Pick up a
Yes.
book by Gary
Gosh.
Vaynerchuk, Crushing It,
Yeah.
or Crush It, or one I just read very recently, changed my whole mindset, was Extreme Ownership: How Navy SEALs Lead and Win. And
Oh my gosh.
there's a story in that one where they're talking about a boat exercise where you have different teams of Navy SEALs. They're all in the boats, and they have
Hmm.
somebody who's motivating them. And team one was winning, and then team five or whatever was lagging behind, and they were feeling, terrible. They were getting beaten and everything. And the only thing they did was they changed team captain one to team captain to the number five boat, and they changed fives over to ones, and then team five became unbeatable. And they didn't get stronger. They didn't change out boats. They didn't do
Right.
anything special,
Right.
but they had somebody who led them, that believed in themselves, and it happened. They started
Wow.
dominating. And that was
That's
a
huge.
huge real. When I read that in that book, I'm like, that's applicable to anything in life, because this isn't just about voiceover.
Right.
It's about
Yeah.
this is about your life.
Hmm.
I mean, that sounds like whoa, but it is
It's
that.
real.
It
It's
is that
real
deep.
though.
It is that real.
It is.
What life do you want to have?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
What life do you want to have? Well, I mean, John, wow, this has been amazing for me. You gotta send me an instant message the title of that book because I'm getting it today.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send you the
So
Amazon link, Earl. You just hit buy now.
yeah,
Bam. It'll be there
exactly,
on Prime in like
exactly. I'm going to buy
seconds.
the book and the audio book. So I'm going to be holding that book up as soon as it comes in, and you'll see me holding this book. Um, you're a member of the new mastermind
Yes.
that we've got going on. Why? It's a big step.
It is a big step, but I can tell everybody out there I've tried just about everything when it comes to what microphone do I have? What interface do I have?
Mhm.
The whisper room, the pay to plays, the mail shake strategy. I've tried it all and I've gone down the path of what I think works. And that's why I'm in Succeed on Demand.
Wow. And I mean, I'm honored to have you as a part of this. It's a very small, tight knit group.
Yeah.
We're closing out membership for that on Friday. I sent out an email to everyone and it's been posted. It's like, if you're not in by Friday, you just can't get in, for this. Cause my focus is going to be on you guys and gals that are in this group to really get you to where it is you actually ought to be based on everything and all the work that you put in. Because the people that are in the group are some amazing people. I'm honored that I have them there. I have your trust, um, and you have mine because I'm dedicating as much of me as you're going to be
Yeah.
dedicating back because it's a lot for me to devote, but I'm willing to do it. And those that are willing to do the work are going to win. Well, I mean, John, thanks so much for being
Oh,
and
thanks, Earl.
doing this with me today and being here live. I know sometimes for some
I
folks it's
forgot I
not the
was
most.
live for a bit, but that was good.
That's good. Yeah, when you just forget it's just you and me talking, man. It's just you and
Yeah.
me talking. But thanks so much again for being here. I'm looking forward to working with you a whole lot closer than we are. And I've enjoyed the time we've worked together over the past year
Yes.
and the interactions that we've had. And they've been amazing. So thank you. And thanks everyone for being here with us today. This will be out on a podcast too. So you can hear it on Alexa, iTunes, everywhere. But go ahead and visit the site right now, steps to voiceoversuccess.com. And let's do this thing. Thanks, John. We'll see
All
you
right.
next time, buddy.
Sounds good.